Good morning, family. It is Togetherness Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. If everybody could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. We're standing tall. We're facing our flag. Hands are placed over our hearts. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our school mission statement. We are here to be literate, innovative, and proficient scholars who will participate in rich academic learning in a nurturing environment where we will rise. This will be accomplished by creating collaborative and supportive teaching and learning systems involving the entire PS17 community. Okay, family, it is Togetherness Tuesday. We are sharing photos or images or little video clips of things that we do with our families, the people that we are at home with. Looking forward to seeing how you are spending time with your family during this time. Okay, we have started the book, Thank You, Omu. It is a book about community. We talked about that. And so Omu means queen in a Nigerian language, and it also is the term that the author used to speak about her grandma, and she called her grandma Omu. So she called her grandma queen. We learned that Omu was making a pot of stew, and people keep knocking at her door. So that was the police officer. Before that, a little boy knocked at her door. So let's keep reading, and we're going to look for a pattern, because so far we're noticing that every time she makes a pot of stew, when she makes the stew and the stew wafts, remember we learned that word waft, it travels through the air, that there's a knock on the door and somebody comes for stew and she shares it with them. So let's keep reading. So after the police officer left, for the second time, Omu closed the door and went back to her book. Sure enough, as she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the corner until, again, someone was at Omu's door. This time, when she opened the door, she saw a hot dog vendor. Mr. Hot Dog Vendor, Omu exclaimed, "What brings you to my home?" "I was selling my hot dogs down the block when I smelled the most delicious smell." Mr. Hot Dog Vendor replies, "What is it?" "Thick red stew." "Ooh, stew." The vendor licked his lips. "That sounds quite delectable." Now, based on the pattern, I think we know what's going to happen. What do you think Omu's going to do? Yep, she's going to give him some stew. Let's see. So Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Oh, thank you, Omu," the hot dog vendor said, and went on his way. That's the pattern so far in the book. She's a sharer. Uh-oh, look what happens. Throughout the day, people from across the neighborhood knocked on Omu's door. She fed a shop owner, a cab driver, a doctor, an actor, a lawyer, a dancer, a baker, an artist, a singer, an athlete, a bus driver, a construction worker. Even the mayor stopped by. It seems like Omu's house and her thick red stew is really feeding the community. Uh-oh. She shared so much. Look what happens. Soon, the sky darkened. The streetlights brightened, and it was finally time for dinner. But when Omu opened her big fat pot of thick red stew for her nice evening meal, it was empty. She shared all of it away. She gave all of it away. So even though she liked sharing, she's not looking like she's feeling really good right now because she wanted some of that thick red stew for herself, right? Omu sniffled. There goes the best dinner I ever had. Sorry and blue, not the color blue, right, but feeling sad, so sorry and blue. She sat at the table with her empty pot until... Who could that be, Omu wondered. When she opened her door, she saw... All right, what do you think is going to happen now? I'm going to pause. What do you think is going to happen? All right, because there's the pattern of the knocking again. But there's no more stew, so there's no more smell wafting in the neighborhood. Well, everybody ate. She fed everybody out of that one pot of stew. What do you think is going to happen? Turn and talk to somebody or tell yourself, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Who's going to be at the door? You ready to find out? It's all of the people who ate. What could they be returning for? What do you think? Let's find out. The little boy? The police officer? The hot dog vendor? The shop owner? The cab driver? The doctor? The actor? The lawyer? The dancer? The baker? Why was everyone she fed today at her front door? I'm sorry, everyone, Omu sighed. My thick red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share. Do you think that that's why they returned? They were looking for more stew? The little boy tugged at Omu's sleeve. Don't worry, Omu. We are not here to ask. We are here to give. Oh, so she gave them some of her precious stew, and they came back to give her something. Let's find out what it is. That's a true community. Oh, wow. Look at that. I love the illustrations in this. The police officer carried in a fresh salad. The mayor entered with a roast chicken. The baker brought a bunch of sweet goodies. Even the little boy presented Omu with something special in a shiny red envelope. Everyone who had knocked on Omu's door that day squeezed inside the tiny apartment, and together they ate, danced, and celebrated. While Omu's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty, her heart was full of happiness and love. That dinner was the best she ever had. Thank you, Omu. So this book was really a book about community and about love. I'm going to read the author's note in a second so that you can see how she wrote the story, because we take stories from our own lives to make beautiful books. That's what good writers do, and you are all amazing readers and writers. So look at that. That's a beautiful way to end the story, because everybody shared a little bit and then they all had a feast together. So I'm going to read you the author's note, which sometimes appears at the end. See where it says author's note? And remember, we got introduced to our author yesterday, Ogimura. So here's the author's note that I'm going to leave you with today. When my grandmother cooked, she danced and swayed her hips to the radio as she stirred what was often a large pot of stew. In the evening, my family would come together at the dinner table for her meal. If a neighbor was visiting, they were invited for some stew. If a friend had stopped by, they were invited. Everyone in the community had a seat at my grandmother's table. That reminds me of this picture here. So again, the author took something from her own life and created this beautiful story in memory of her grandmother. While my grandmother had since passed away, her giving heart has stayed with me. I see it in my mother, my godmother, my teachers, my mentors, and the other countless powerful women who have shaped my life. This book is a celebration of their loving, giving spirit. So PS 17, in honor of Togetherness Tuesday, let's think about how we can be a better community today. Think about what we can do in our own homes to be a better community, and think about what we can do to make PS 17 an even better community. I wish you a wonderful day, and as always, we love you.